Hey guys, today I'm going to go over the rose with you guys. It had just debuted on Etsy yesterday and I'm getting so much love for it and I appreciate it so much. So I hope this helps you guys put together some very beautiful roses. I definitely struggled with a lot of different templates until I came up with this one, so good luck to you all. I'm going to start with curling your roses, just some of the basics. So you can curl your rose with something like a bone folder like this. Sometimes I have a little bit of difficulty because it kind of crinkles my paper and I really want a smooth curl without any obvious crinkle lines, so I tend not to use this, but I do sometimes. So to each their own, kind of do what you feel comfortable with. I'm going to do it actually with a glue stick. I love my little glue sticks. I feel like it has a smoother transition on the curl. And I try to curl my roses a little bit different on each petal. I try to do like a different angle each time. So we'll go ahead and start with the smallest petal. And you just kind of wrap it around the glue stick and then roll. I like to kind of tightly push it a little bit so it can hold. Gives it a little tighter curl, so I'll do that. And I'll do it for the same for the other sizes of the roses. So just put it around. Be careful you don't crease this edge underneath when you roll, because that can happen and that's not very fun. Now each one of these sizes, you can put together the roses in any size that you want. Like you can use the smaller versions of the petals to achieve a smaller rose. I tend to like the bigger flowers, so this one I'm using some of the bigger petals. So those are the 3. I'll put those to the side. And then we're going to curl the base. So this is an already put together one that's already curled. And this is the effect that we're going to try to achieve here. So also with the glue sticks, I love to kind of cheat my way out of it and do multiple folds at the same time. So I'll just take my glue stick and do the same thing to these little guys. So for this part, we'll just add a little bit of glue in the middle here. I like to think that less is more. Sometimes I feel like it does a lot better with less glue. So for this one, we are going to put some glue at the edges, just like right along here. I've already done it to kind of show you. So put some there, we'll put some over here. Not too much, just a little bit. We're going to curl this side to kind of achieve that center. And we're just going to hug this one around it. So that kind of achieves like a little hugged look there. And don't worry if it comes off a little bit, because you're going to fix that. So we will do the same thing on this side. A little bit of glue, a little bit of glue. Hug this side over, but not as much. You want to kind of loosen up with every petal that you do. And we're just going to hold it there for that kind of look. Once you're done with this first one, what you'll do is you'll get the other little crossbones that I like to call it, and you're going to put it, these two were done last, so we're going to put it sideways, and we're going to do the same thing. On this one, I like to glue each petal separately. But remember, every petal is a little bit less, so kind of stick it out a little bit. And we'll do the same with the other side. I don't know why, I like to do it on this side. It makes my brain work better. And then we'll do the last of them. With these, I try to stand it more upright as much as I can instead of kind of folding it in, so that it gets kind of like a boxy look. So we're going to take this base And we're gonna just put it to the side. So I want to show you guys how to glue the bottom parts of these petals. The smallest one, you want to kind of kick it over as much to the right as possible so it's more of an upright curve. The middle one, you want to glue it in the middle so it's a slight upright curve. And this one, you want it to be a little bit more flat, so you don't want to kick it over too much. So these are the final ones. The curve goes back, so I'm going to put those to the side. And I've kind of showed you where to glue on the petals themselves. So we're going to glue all the way to the left here, in the middle, and then on the right hand side. Kind of like a 1, 2, 3. So we're going to kick this one over all the way. We're going to kick this one over about halfway. I've got glue all over my fingers. And then we're going to kick this one over just a little bit. So those are the 3 petals. So we're going to start with a hexagon and the largest petals. For the first one, I've already glued it to kind of show you. We only want to glue half of the petal. And this is so that when we finish the round of the 6 large petals, it'll overlap. And I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to glue that just about halfway. And we're going to put it right about here. I like to kind of have them in because I like my petals to overlap. All the other petals are going to be, you know, you glue them all the way across. There's no limitations on those. So now that this one hasn't been glued on this side, we're going to have enough space to put the other one under this, so it's just a continuous overlap. So we're going to glue the whole thing on this one. We're going to take it and we're going to shove it right up under the other one, the first one, and we'll place it there. Now that that's placed, we can kind of glue the edge of this one and stick it down. And that creates a whole overlapping, like you won't know where I stopped or started because of that. With the second layer, I'm going to do the medium petals. I'm going to do the same thing with gluing half. I'm going to line it up on the same line that I did before. And you want the petal in between, centering in between the larger 2. We're going to do the same thing all the way around. And then here we are again at the last petal with this one unglued. So now we can kind of get our way underneath there to create a continuous overlap. There we go. Looks good. We can take this and add a little bit of glue right there. Hold that down a little bit. So you can see it's starting to form. Now, last time we added the end of this to the end of the large layer, but this one I'm going to bring it in just slightly. And I always like to twist my wrist to start in a different place, even though you can't tell. I just like to. So we will do half. And this is still with the medium layer. We haven't switched sizes yet. So we're doing 1 large layer, 2 medium layers. I've seen other people where they attach the roses kind of like this to create this little bend here. But I find with the cut, it kind of takes that process out. You can already see the bend, and it's less folding while you're gluing, which is good because I get glue all over myself all the time. Our last layer is our small little guys. So we're going to take this and we are going to put it right on that line. We're not going to go in too far because we don't want to cram the inner part. So again, just halfway. think the easiest part about this rose is just doing it in a spiral and just keep going with it, and it ends up looking really pretty. I think the spiral look is really cool. Last piece is going to be your base. So this is a pretty easy part. I usually try to put it in here, see where I want it. If I want it one way or the other, like if I see that it looks better this way or that way, or if it fits better one way or the other, I'm just going to do it. Now, don't shove it down because then it's going to mess with all your petal curves. So just kind of rest it there, and that's good. So because it's just resting there, it's not being shoved down, the bottom part doesn't need to be glued so much as does the very edges. So you want to glue part of the edges because that's what's going to touch when you set it there. So you're going to take the base and you're just going to line it with some glue. So I'm going to line this part where it gets curvy over here with the curve, curve, and curve. A little bit in the middle just in case it does touch, but usually it doesn't. I want to get those flyaways. So I am just going to put the petal in there, just like that. I want to kind of make sure that it's not moving, but I don't want to push it too much because I want it to maintain that fold, the bloom, and that is your rose. Final product looks just like this.